You know, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I haven't really played much Crucible since Season of the Splicer began. Normally I use PvP as a time waste when there's not much going on, but this season has been really good in terms of delivering really well made PvE content, to the point where I don't really find myself in PvP almost ever. But with all that being said, the stasis nerfs that we got as of late definitely piqued my interest into getting back into PvP, and I've actually been having a blast playing it. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's much better than getting frozen every 3 seconds, and because of this, and a comment left by one of you guys asking for this kind of video, today we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 most used PvP weapons in Destiny 2 right now. All this information comes from Destiny Tracker for those that are curious, and the link will be in the description. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at all of the weapons starting from 10 going to 1. We'll be going over each weapon and why it's so good, how to get your hands on them, as well as going over their PvP god rolls if they happen to be a legendary weapon. Before jumping into the video though, I just want to give everyone watching a massive thank you for the support as of late. We've gotten more new subscribers in the past 3 weeks than we did the past 3 months of Season of the Chosen. If you're one of the people that like the video, talk with me in the comments, or watch the video to the end, thank you so much. And if you're also new here by finding me in recommended, thanks to those that have been showing massive support as of late, welcome and enjoy your stay. Now without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video and start off our list at number 10. Now, starting off our list today, we have a weapon that I definitely wasn't expecting to be this low, but the 10th most used weapon in the Crucible right now is the Igneous Hammer. Now this weapon right here became an instant favorite of mine during Season of the Chosen, and even after 120s found themselves with a couple nerfs, Igneous Hammer still stands strong as the best 120 hand cannon in the game. You can get this weapon from Trials of Osiris, and I highly recommend just waiting for it to be the 3-win reward so you can cop it from the in-game bounty. For those guys that don't know, this bounty allows you to get the 3-win reward by simply playing Trials, and you don't even need to win a single round to do this. Now, what makes Igneous Hammer special above the rest? Well, there's actually 4 things. Number 1, it has the best stats hands down out of every 120 in the game. Number 2, it's in the energy slot, allowing for the use of weapons like Chaperone, Reese Walker, Eye of Soul, or any other kinetic weapon that you like to use. It has an adept variant, giving it further bonuses to its really good stats, on top of the ability to use adept mods like things like Adept Icarus, which give both bonuses to accuracy in air and +5 range. And lastly, its perk pool is extremely small, making the probability for a 5 out of 5 god roll very possible for your average player compared to other weapons. Speaking of perks, let's go ahead and take a look at what the Igneous has to offer. Whenever it comes to magazines, you have the likes of High Cal, which gives you some more range and flinches your opponents, Ricochet, which will help with stability as well as range, and my personal favorite, Flared Magwell. I know that's a really odd suggestion to give for a 120, but I've gotten around 2,500 kills on my Adept Igneous thus far, and it rolled with Flared Magwell. Anytime I try a mag outside of that, like with my PvE Igneous that has armor piercing, I really end up disliking how clunky the reload is, so this magazine is a massive personal preference for me. Moving on over to the first column, we have a ton of perks that are great. We have Rapid Hit for better reload, Quick Draw as well as Killing Wind for the range bump, and of course in the second column we have the likes of Rampage, and honestly, that's the only perk that I'd go with in this slot. Thanks to perks like Rampage, you're able to go on absolute tears with 120 hand cannons, allowing you to get 2-tap potential on your enemies, and nothing is more satisfying than that in my opinion. Personally, that's what makes 120 special to me, so I always go with the damage perk if I can. At the end of the day, Igneous is still one of the best options you can ever go with in PvP, but I think its usage rate is down due to some players using the Adept version over the regular, as well as this weapon coming from Trials of Osiris, and we all know how that mode can be. Still though, get your hands on this one if you can, and you absolutely won't regret it. Now, moving on over to number 9, we have a weapon that was a complete smash hit with the community for both PvE and PvP, and that's the Chroma Rush. This weapon is a 720 RPM kinetic auto rifle, and it absolutely tears through anything regardless of the mode that you're playing. You can get this weapon from the Override Seasonal Activity, and focus it in the Umbral Engrams as well. I gotta say, having experienced things like the Hard Light meta as well as the Gnawing Hunger meta, I can definitely say that I feel as though Chroma Rush feels better than both of those auto rifles whenever it comes to PvP. Taking a look at the perks, we have the likes of Accurized Rounds for your magazine for the range bump, we have Feeding Frenzy in the first slot, as well as either Kill Clip or Rampage in the second slot. This auto takes a lot of inspiration from 120 hand cannons in the sense that once you get that first kill, your gun is pretty much fully charged and ready to go on a killing spree. The melt potential you have with the perks like Rampage or Kill Clip is ridiculous. It makes this weapon feel like a kinetic trace rifle in terms of of how you're just going to be beaming people all game. Of course, if stability is an issue for you, you don't necessarily have to opt for Feeding Frenzy, but if your role has kill clip specifically, then I highly recommend it. All in all, Chroma Rush is a staple in the PvP meta as the go-to auto rifle, and I'm 100% okay with that as it's much deserving to be in the top 9. Now, moving on over to number 8, we have our first exotic on the list, and that's the Last Word hand cannon. You can get this bad boy from the exotic kiosk in the tower, and it's literally a weapon that was built from the ground up to be a PvP gun. Although this weapon is mostly dominant on console due to things like aim assist, in the right hands, you can definitely find success with it on mouse and keyboard, as you're seeing in the background gameplay. That being said though, Last Word is the weapon of choice for console gamers, as its kill potential in close range is just unmatched by most other primaries, and as someone who used to play on console, I definitely miss playing with this weapon on a daily basis. I'm just too bad at controllers now to fully take advantage of it. The Last Word has been a staple of Destiny PvP ever since Destiny 1, and although it's not as strong as it used to be, it'll continue to be a part of the growing PvP meta for years to come if I had to take a guess. If you play on console, Last Word is an absolute must-have weapon, so get your hands on it and clap some cheeks cowboy style in the Crucible. Now, here at number 7, we have a weapon that completely surprised me, and that's the Fatebringer hand cannon from the Vault of Glass. Given not only how new this weapon is, combined with the fact that you have to raid to get it, I definitely wasn't expecting it to land in the top 10, yet here we are. Fatebringer is a 140 RPM kinetic hand cannon, and when compared to things like Dire Promise, it looks to be a best in slot kinetic 140, especially when considering it'll be receiving an adept version later on the season, making it even stronger. Taking a look at the perks, we have great options like accurized rounds for range, explosive payload for damage at range as well as flinch, and opening shot for the added range and aim assist on your first shot. You can also roll with perks like Killing Wind and Tunnel Vision, as well as Kill Clip if you'd like a damage boost to assist with damage if you miss a headshot. When it comes to 140 hand cannons, Fatebringer is definitely a great option, but honestly, I don't really enjoy using legendary 140s unless I'm using Palindrome, so I'll probably stick to keeping my Fatebringer inside of PvE. That being said though, Fatebringer is nowhere near a bad weapon. I just prefer weapons like Palindrome personally, as I love kinetic weapons like my Astral Horizon and Reese Walker. Remember how I said I was surprised at seeing Fatebringer at number 7? Well, I'm even more surprised to see this weapon at number 6, and that's the Survivor's Epitaph 180 RPM hand cannon. There is no denying it, Survivor's Epitaph is the best 180 in the game right now as far as PvP is concerned. But man, am I absolutely donkey ass whenever it comes to using these things. Epitaph comes from the Crucible playlist, so every game that you play, you'll have a chance for it to drop for you. And taking a look at the perks, we have things like High Cow and Ricochet rounds for the magazine, and we have a massive amount of perks in the first slot. Tunnel Vision, Heating Up, Quick Draw, Outlaw, Feeding Frenzy, and Killing Wind are available for you in the first slot based upon your own preference, and in the second slot, we pretty much only have 2 things that are worth using, and that's Multi-Kill Clip or Kill Clip. With perks like Kill Clip, you're able to 3-shot headshot somebody when it's active, giving you fantastic time to kill inside the Crucible as you're rocking that 180 RPM. For me, I'd never use this weapon personally inside of competitive modes like Trials or Comp, as I feel like any kind of team play with 120s will definitely put this weapon in the dirt. However, inside of 6v6, this weapon's an absolute blast to use, especially once you get that damage perk active. I'm just surprised to see so many people in the community using it, but at the end of the day, it's for good reason. It's been a very long time since we've seen a meta 180 hand cannon inside of PvP, and Survivor's Epitaph answers the call to be that weapon. It's a really good weapon overall, and if you're looking to try a different playstyle, the Epitaph might be the hand cannon for you. Now, moving on from the number 6 spot, we have our second exotic on the list, and one of my personal favorite picks inside of PvP, the Ace of Spades. This weapon is obtained from the exotic kiosk on the tower, and it's a 140 RPM kinetic. Now, what makes this weapon special is actually a few things. Ace comes with the likes of Firefly as a perk, which has built-in Outlaw allowing for quicker reloads on a precision kill. It also has the likes of Memento Mori, which after a kill, reloading gives the next 6 bullets increased damage, providing some great synergy with the likes of Firefly. All of this goes without mentioning that Ace also allows your radar to stay up when aiming down sights and holding a lane, giving you really good awareness of what's going around you at all times. Ace of Spades all in all has always been a great pick inside of PvP and is definitely deserving of that top 5 spot. More people should be using this weapon as it's not only a beast, but an absolute blast to slay out with. Whenever I'm not feeling like using an energy 140 like Palindrome, Ace of Spades is normally my go-to hand cannon, and every time I use it, I always feel like I slay out out in the Crucible, so if you haven't given this weapon a try, definitely do so. Moving on, here at number 4, we have the closest thing that you'll ever find to a Fellwinners competitor, and that's the Found Verdict shotgun from Vault of Glass. This weapon is an energy aggressive frame shotgun and actually has quite a few interesting traits when compared to the likes of Fellwinners. Firstly, let's go over the perk differences. For the barrels, we have your usual rifled barrel and full choke, although I definitely recommend full choke for the tighter pellet spread. For the magazine, we got assault mag for faster rate of fire, or accurized for the range, both of which are fine options. And in the first column, we have the likes of surplus as well as slide shot, and in the second column, we have opening shot and maybe Vorpal if that's your thing. So what makes Found Verdict so different compared to Fellwinners? Well, it's actually the handling stat. Now, despite what you see here, just because Found Verdict has better stats in literally every department, that doesn't automatically mean that it's better than Fellwinners. And why is that? Well, because shot package being a trait on Fellwinners means everything whenever it comes to one-shotting opponents at a distance. Yeah, Found Verdict has better range, but because of the lack of shot package, the pellets would be far too spread out at a farther distance to allow for that one shot. However, a stat that actually does hold some merit in this comparison is handling, as it allows you to pull out the weapon much quicker than Fellwinners, and due to the quick draw nerf, this might be a reason why you want a Found Verdict over a Fellwinners. All in all though, I'm currently grinding for a God rolled PvP Verdict, but as it stands right now, I would just stick with Fellwinners if handling isn't a major thing for you. This is a very niche shotgun, so if you got the time to grind, this might be one that's on your radar, but if you don't have all that much time to play Destiny, Fellwinners Lie is more than good enough, and you don't exactly need a God rolled Found Verdict at the end of the day. Maybe as we see some changes come in the future and a potential Fellwinners Lie nerf, Found Verdict could find itself above Fellwinners, but as it stands right now, Fellwinners is probably going to stay king as far as shotguns are concerned. Now, moving on, here at number 3, we got possibly the most consistently obtainable 120 in the game, and that's the Steady Hand hand cannon. Now, this bad boy is a kinetic 120 and comes from the Iron Banner, and it was my first love when diving into the land of 120 hand cannons. If you're unable to land a True Prophecy, this is definitely your go-to weapon when wanting to pair something with Fellwinners or Frozen Orbit. Taking a look at the perks, we have fantastic options like High Count, Ricochet, and Flared Magwell for the magazines. We also have really good first column perks in the form of Quick Draw, Outlaw, Killing Wind, or Moving Target. In the final slot, all that really matters here is Swashbuckler. A really cool thing about Swash is that the damage boost actually lasts much longer than Rampage, allowing you to reach your next target for that 2-tap kill. This is what caused Igneous Hammer to feel so weird for me whenever I first got it, as Rampage dissipates much faster than Swash and is definitely pretty noticeable. Steady Hand all in all is just a weapon that just about anybody can obtain, and is a part of a meta archetype and is in the kinetic slot, allowing you to pair with it some of the best special weapons in the game. It's great to see it in the top 3 as it's absolutely deserving of it. Now, here at number 2, we're going to go ahead and move on to the final exotic of the list, and something that absolutely isn't going to surprise anybody, that's going to be the Dead Man's Tail. Do I even need to elaborate on this weapon? You can get it from the Glycon mission that first released during the Season of the Chosen, and it's just the most OP primary weapon to touch the landscape of PC Destiny. With the Catalyst, this weapon is able to sustain a 180 RPM while firing from the hip. While firing from the hip, you also have complete dead-on accuracy no matter how fast you're firing. You get really generous aim assist on top of 3-tap kills, and can even go as far as 2-tapping targets when inside of something like an Empowering Rift from a Warlock. Dead Man's Tail sees not only high play and quick play playlist, but is the weapon of choice for nearly every player in game modes like Trials due to how broken it is. Bungie's already commented on nerfing it sometime in the future, but given everything I just talked about, there's no wondering why it's so high up on the list in terms of the most used weapons. Now, moving on from the Dead Man's Tail, we have a weapon that will surprise absolutely nobody that's watching this video, the Fellwinners Lie. This weapon comes from the weapon kiosk in the tower and is absolutely the staple of PvP shotguns in Destiny. This is mainly due to not only its archetype providing massive amounts of damage per shot, but also due to its trait Shot Package that keeps the pellet spread close together when firing, and this allows for one-shot kills at crazy distances. It's meta regardless of what platform you play on, it has the best consistency out of every shotgun in the game, and it can also be combined with the likes of Chroma Rush, Dead Man's Tail, and Steady Hand. With how god-awful the special ammo economy is in PvP right now, there's absolutely no room to wonder why it's the most used weapon in all of PvP in Destiny 2. Because of this ammo economy, Fellwinter's Lie is practically a primary, and its usage rate definitely reflects that. But guys, that is pretty much it for the video. We went ahead and went over all of the top 10 most used PvP weapons inside of Destiny 2, as this was something that you guys were wanting in the comments of one of my last videos, as well as the fact that I've been getting into PvP recently, and I figured it'd be a fun video to make. Guys, if you did watch up into this point, I definitely really appreciate it. Like I said at the beginning, you know, those of you guys that massively support me and go the extra mile with commenting, liking, watching the video, etc., you're part of the reason why I'm seeing so much success right now, and I really cannot overstate how much it means to me that you guys help me do what I get to do on a daily basis, and I greatly appreciate that. But guys, that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all next time.